We going? We're live?
We're always live.
Are we live?
Yeah, I always start recording as soon as I sit down if I gotta cut some shit out.
Just in case.
All
right. Yeah.
All right.
In case somebody says something.
So I'm commandeering a podcast and I'm going to give you the next.
All right, let's do it.
So, one of your favorite movies that most people won't know about.
Oh, man. Okay.
So like a cult type of movie?
Not
It
even
doesn't
that.
have to be a
or
cult.
just a movie that I like personally.
Yeah, it's like a movie that you like, but you know isn't like something that just anybody is going to know about.
But people should know about it.
That you feel that people should know about.
For me, I got one right off the back, and it's because of my favorite sci-fi TV show being Firefly.
Wow, that's definitely niche right there.
Yes. And
hate you
so
I still have not seen it.
I never watched it.
It's fantastic.
I get shit on so much.
It's like
for
a space western. It really is.
Yeah.
It's great. But it's the movie that ended the whole show, Serenity.
Yes.
So Serenity was like the fans were trying to get them to bring the show back with the same cast, same writers. Like everybody wanted it to come back the way that it was and then continue the story. They continued the story in comics, which I read, and graphic novels, things like that, but they never really brought it back to the big screen. So they got so tired of hearing people complain about Serenity or Firefly not having an ending to the show that they brought back the show in a movie, Serenity, to wrap up the whole premise of everything that they were trying to get to in the show.
Because when they started the show, he had story points for several seasons. Because everything he's done was he had time where like, oh, I can get multiple seasons out of everything I'm doing. So I could design a show that's intended to tell the story over several seasons. So there's a nice big overarching with all the little stuff in between.
Right.
And then they only ended up getting the one season.
Yeah. Now, the story of the show is fucked up because the show was great, but what they did was they were even putting the show out of order.
Yes.
So you would watch
Try to
week 1 and
sabotage
you're
it.
watching episode 3, and then week 2, you're watching episode 5 in their storyline.
So when they launched the show, you're watching the first episode. Here's the premiere episode, and you don't even know the characters. You're jumping right into a thing,
Right.
Because the first episode wasn't even showed as like the first episode.
What was the
And
show? There was like a recent show that had that kind of a setup. This wasn't The
The
Boys.
Witcher? You're talking about The Witcher?
Yeah, The Witcher. It was like The Witcher.
Yeah,
that
The
was
Witcher was intended to be told out of
Excuse me.
out
line.
of time.
Yeah, it was
though.
deliberately told that way.
Yeah, because the first season of
I
The
think
Witcher.
Pizza guy's here. I think
Is there a pizza guy here?
Oh,
I saw someone with a blue shirt.
Okay, wait.
So,
Hold
you
on.
go. I got
Pizza.
this.
hey, wait,
Alright, go
question.
ahead.
Hold on, question. Is Colin Farrell in it?
The first season of The Witcher was based on The Witcher writings, which the first book of The Witcher was all short stories.
Right.
So the whole chunk of it was told out of time because you're dealing with characters that live for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Right.
God, I love the trial of the grasses. You know, it really changes your
Yeah.
fucking...
I have
So-
no clue. I only watched the Henry Cavill stuff, so I don't
Yeah,
know
so-
like
so-
that deep into it.
So
The
yeah,
video
so,
game's awesome. You played the video game? You need to play
yeah,
The Witcher 3.
excellent video game.
You don't need to play the first two either. They go through it.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
just jump right into 3.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
nice.
good way to go. So that was intended to be told out of time. So even though it was out of time, the story was at least told from A to B in the way it was designed. They literally filmed Firefly, and it was going on a different network than what all of his other Joss Whedon and all of his other stuff was going on.
Right.
And they just basically threw it out the window and just threw them in any kind of almost random order.
Right.
So it wasn't like the story. I mean, once you watch them, you're like, yeah, all right, now I got it. But it wasn't intended to be done that way. They just they really sabotaged it. They kept moving time slots and putting it here and putting it there, and they really just fucked the whole
tanked
thing
it.
up. Yeah.
But
So Serenity.
So Serenity. So when you watch the movie, it's great. You could see where the show would have gotten to.
Now, let's say you never watched an episode of Firefly. Could
Do
you
I have
still
to watch it? Like,
You could watch Serenity by itself.
By
and it would
itself,
be a
standalone?
good standalone story because
Yeah.
what they did well was they gave you some backstory as the movie is
so wait,
progressing.
Okay.
but if I watch Serenity, is it a spoiler for Firefly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So in other words, you cannot watch it.
Yeah, because they.
No, because if you enjoy the movie, you could go back and watch the show knowing where it's going to end and enjoy it for what it was.
All right.
It's kind of like Star
So it's like
Wars.
watching Godfather 1 and then watching Godfather 2. It's like, oh, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll have to check it out, but it's funny because like a lot of people talk really highly about Firefly. Was it like Sci-Fi Channel or
It
something?
was.
Yeah.
Well, they brought it to the Sci-Fi Channel after it failed on the network channels.
It was like
and
on the
another thing that
WB.
was against it, it was worse. It was UPN 9.
UPN.
And it was like during the time of like the afternoon cartoons when the kids are coming home from school.
Yeah.
That's when they were
Up
playing
next,
it.
Teen Titans and Firefly.
Yeah. And it's adult content. Basically, a lot of the show, what I fell in love with, was the dynamic between the characters and the conversations.
Yeah.
The show was
hear that,
very
yeah.
heavy dialogue.
You hear that a lot with a lot of sci-fi fans. Like even when I was doing research, we did a sci-fi episode. Like I'm watching like Eureka. I'm watching Eureka, trying to like get info on like sci-fi
Eureka's
shows.
Castle.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So
Bro, you know what Eureka is.
exactly. So my fucking roommate comes into the room and she's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I'm doing a fucking podcast on sci-fi stuff tomorrow." And she's like, "Oh," and she goes, "You guys should talk about Firefly." I got pissed instantly. I was like, "God damn it!" I was like, "Everyone wants me to watch this show." And then she goes into her room and pulls out the box set, like all of it, like the whole. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Any true
You have a
Firefly
ser-
fan
you have a serial
will have
killer?
it.
I do.
Oh man.
All right, what about you? Oh wait, what do you? What's
Why don't
yours?
we?
Which direction we going?
Go to
We're going
Ed?
to Ed? We're going to Ed next.
We're going in. I was just
you-
double checking the action because I don't know if it was Legend of the Drunken Master or
you
Drunken Master. It's a Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah, Legend. There was two.
There was two.
Yes.
Two.
There's
So-
one that's newer, one that's older.
So it's the older one, which I don't think as many people had seen.
His
'cause
hair's
this
longer.
was
His hair's
it
longer.
was before his kind of coming to America with all his movies, and they started dubbing them over.
Way
Rumble-
before
Rumble in the
Rumble in
Bronx.
the Bronx.
Yeah, so it was before that, but it was that first time of kind of blending that physical comedy and action that he does, and he's doing drunken fist the whole time. So as he's fighting people, he's also trying to consume as much alcohol at the same time.
Wait a second. How come nobody does this in the UFC? I haven't
It's
seen
just
the
not as
drunken
practical.
fighting
It's
style.
not as practical.
Well, clearly,
Well,
you
that's
can,
the whole point.
Tai Tuivasa
They
does
were-
the shoeies.
Tai
I mean,
Tuivasa
he's
does it.
trying.
just like any good legend, it would make them too powerful of
This
a
is true, yes.
fighter.
Which is why nobody uses the touch of death.
That's right.
Can't
That's
use the
why.
touch
Well,
of death.
technically speaking, the whole point of Drunken Master style is to pretend that you're drunk. You don't have to actually be drunk.
Yes.
So is he drinking
It's-
water?
It's
No, he's actually getting drunk. He's basically
It's
drinking
White
meth.
Claw.
Okay, all
He's
right.
drinking White Claw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's basically drinking moonshine.
yeah. So the very physical way he does in all of his movies lends itself very well to that kind of drunken master style of fighting, where he's using tables and chairs and rolling under and over things, and it really is. It's an excellent movie for trying to display what would probably be a terrible in real life fighting style.
Right.
Well, even the way
But-
they hold their hands, like the way they
Yes.
hold their hands is like
Have you ever, like-
Chinese drinking cups.
Have
Yes.
you ever like seen like someone actually do it, like a really like good
No,
person
I
do it
haven't.
in person?
Is it dope? though?
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
I bet it was
It's
sick.
so good. I went to like it was like a kung fu tournament
Right.
years and years ago. And there was this one guy. It was like you know how they do the karate tournaments where it's just all showing like the
yeah.
I was about to
katanas and
ask, was
stuff.
Frank Dukes
Yes.
there? Was he?
Dude, no, listen.
Steven Seagal in the
Yeah,
audience.
Steven
Let
Seagal's
me
a
show you
rep.
how it's done.
As much as I know now, this one guy came up and he did it. Like I remember to this day, he won 2 different classes. He won Praying Mantis and he won Drunken Master. Dude, that drunken style is like, it's showy.
Of course,
Right.
It's
it's
showy.
show, but it's
Very
still
flashy.
But-
impressive.
It's fucking impressive because he was jumping up in the air like 5-6 feet, slamming back down to be like,
That's dope. That's dope. You
yeah.
gotta
So it's like,
appreciate it.
for
Yeah.
sure you're gonna get your shit kicked in, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but you look cool
But that
doing
looks
it.
cool as
Like,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So visually, it really lends itself
You know-
well to
Yeah.
Jackie Chan, who does all of his own
The
work.
last
on
time
that
I
stuff.
seen the drunken fighting style that was actually comparable to Jackie Chan was in the Iron Fist. It was in the season finale where he had to get in
Yes.
to fight.
That
the
was
main
an
baddie,
excellent
but
fight.
he got to get through this bomb. That
You're
was
talking
trying
about
to
the
sit
one
there.
with the white dude.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yo,
was the shittiest.
It was
fucking.
It was
listen,
the worst. It was the worst of them.
Whoever put that together, you deserve to have your camera stolen. It was the biggest load of trash bullshit ever. It was like, let's get rid of the fact that it was like a white guy doing like martial arts like that.
I mean, we learned a lot about boardrooms.
We all know
oh
white
my
guys
God.
can't fight.
But
We all
listen,
know that.
Listen, to
It
be
was-
fair, out of that whole show, which I agree sucked, that fight scene with the Drunken Master
Sucked.
It was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
I have to agree with Alexis on this. I didn't
Dude,
even
that's
really
true.
get into that. I did the whole Daredevil. I did Luke Cage. I
Punisher?
could even get through what's the Jessica Jones. I could even
Jessica
get to that.
Jones was great.
The Punisher was fantastic.
Punisher was the best.
was
of
the
all
I
best
did
one,
finally
yes.
start watching Punisher.
Punisher was fantastic,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Daredevil. The two of those were my favorites.
Daredevil
of
was
the whole
trash, too.
series. Oh, you didn't like Daredevil?
I fucking hated Daredevil.
I
Dude,
love
you
the
didn't
guy.
like
I
the
love
Kingpin
Kingpin.
in
I love
Daredevil?
Kingpin.
I mean, yeah,
God.
no,
I have to
Kingpin.
disagree with
No,
you there.
Kingpin was good in Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
But you didn't like the actor.
I didn't like Daredevil. I thought it was so stupid. I thought
Really?
it was so
It
stupid.
got redundant.
Okay.
It
All
got
right.
redundant.
It got redundant, but it's also
I
like
think it redundant.
I think Daredevil as a superhero is just stupid.
I can't say
it's
that I disagree
it's
with you that
such
the
a
premise of the character
stupid
sucked, but
superhero.
the show was really good. And you know what's even funnier is they killed Daredevil in
But
The
you
Boys
can't fight
really
him in the
fast.
rain, you know?
Did you see that episode?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so let me see. Oh, you're deaf and you can't. He's like, now you're dead.
Yeah.
All right, don't bring these assholes in here. Now.
He blows his
Yeah.
eardrums out.
But no, I liked it. I don't know. I liked Daredevil. I liked Jessica Jones. Even Luke Cage. I thought Luke Cage did a disservice by getting rid of Cottonmouth because he was
Yes.
a great villain for the show.
I like the Bushmaster.
Listen.
He was a
Bushmaster was
he
dope,
a
too.
badass villain.
Vincent D'Onofrio is the ultimate Kingpin. The guy that was from Law and Order.
I
That's
know.
who-
Yeah, he's
That dude is such a dope actor. He's so underrated.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like as much as I like Ving Rhames in the movie playing the Kingpin. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Whoa,
feeling
whoa,
it.
whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't think
that
he's
was,
gangster.
That was. Listen
It's
here.
huge.
Yeah.
I will
but he's
not tolerate
gangster.
racism on this podcast.
No, that's not
that was
racism.
that was Michael Clark Duncan.
Bro,
that was
I'm
not
Puerto
Ving
Rican.
Rhames. That was not Ving Rhames.
Wait, wasn't it Ving Rhames?
Insert random giant black man. No.
All right, listen, man.
How you gonna disrespect John Coffey like that?
Hold on a second. That's not going to be the last
John
time.
I'm gonna have to
Somebody's
go ahead
name.
and confiscate half the stuff that's in that shelf because you fucked up.
Okay, listen.
John Coffey was in the Green Mile and he was taking people's problems from them. He did not
Wait,
do
so
that
that's
for
not
you to
Ving
disrespect
Rhames?
him like this.
That's
No.
not Ving Rhames in the Green Mile? Holy shit.
I'm opting out the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
That was so bad because that's what I was like. Are we talking about a different one that I have not watched?
No, it's
No,
normally
no,
me.
no.
It's normally me that makes
Listen.
these fuck ups because I remember I
I'll own
incorrectly.
it. I'll own it.
He's
I'll
been
own the fuck
dying.
up.
He's been dying for that payback.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude.
I incorrectly attributed Dustin Hoffman to the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yes.
And I was paying for that one too. It's Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper played Koopa.
all right,
Shit happens. Shit
I
happens.
apologize. I
It's all
apologize
right.
myself. I
it's
did.
DNH. Phonetically, you were close.
I'm sorry. I fucked up. All right. I fucked up.
Oh, but
So Drunken Master, huh?
Drunken Master.
Drunken
All
Master.
right.
That's a good
Drunken
one.
Master.
All right. What about you, Alexis?
I don't know, man. Well, I know the movie that I'm thinking about, but I'm thinking how good Drunken Master was. And the funny part is because like the character Jackie Chan plays in the original, it's supposed to be a young guy. It's
Yep.
supposed to be the master's son. So when they did the other one was the Legend of the Drunken Master.
Yeah.
Like
That's the
the
one
dude
I-
is like
that's the one I know,
50
yeah.
years old playing an 18-year-old. So it's like, all right, let's.
Listen, man,
Still
they
a
got
good
away
movie.
with it
Still a
in Saved
good
by
movie.
the
Great
Bell.
movie.
They got away with it in Saved
See,
by
but
the
here's
Bell.
the thing: Legends of Drunken Master they released here after Rumble in the Bronx.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, these populars throw like a quick one too. Because
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got
they'll
a
dive
ton.
in.
Meals
That
on
movie,
Wheels,
yeah.
Super Cop,
Yep.
like there's
Dude, that
Yeah.
movie, like Rumble in the Bronx and Operation Condor, told me a valuable. You do like one, you don't fight Steven Seagal in the fucking kitchen. Two, you do not fight Jackie Chan in a tool shed. If that man gets a hold of a ladder, he will fuck your shit up. Like he will destroy you.
All right.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. All right.
dude, he's crazy, man. That man is nuts now.
I remember him as a stuntman.
You know he was supposed to die on 9/11.
Who?
Jackie Chan.
What?
Oh, was he not on one of the planes?
No,
He was
oh, you
supposed
guys
to be
don't
on
know this
there?
story.
Oh,
I do not know
no.
this story.
Dude. All right.
Dude.
So check this out. Look it up. You can Google me. You can fact check me. They were supposed to be filming a scene on 9/11 on the tower. He
Oh,
was supposed to
shit.
be hanging from a cable and running down the side of the tower.
Oh my god.
And he like either he didn't feel good, like, and he canceled it, which is something he never does. He like it doesn't matter if he's missing a limb or something, he's gonna do it. He's just like, no, we're gonna have to push back like the
People get that
filming.
intuition, man.
A
Dude.
late script. A
See?
late script change saved Jackie Chan from death.
Wow.
He would have been filming on the tower that day.
How
That's
fucking nuts is
crazy.
that? And it was like he talks about it. He was like crying for days after that.
Yeah, that's.
Did I
your
tell you
life.
I did not have
Fuck yeah,
useless
dude.
information?
No, man, that's fucking
Holy
great.
shit, that's
yeah,
heavy.
I mean, like, you could have helped me out when I said Ving Rhames, but I mean,
I'll let you burn. Did I not tell you? I'm that guy. I'm that guy, pal. I'm
Wait, so
that
he-
guy.
He didn't play Biggie in the Notorious.
No, that wasn't him. No.
Was he?
Somebody else.
He wasn't Sweetness? What was it?
Jackie Chan was actually a stuntman in Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee killed him.
Not Enter the Dragon. It was Big Boss.
He was in Enter the Dragon too. He was.
Yeah. No, because he played like one of the stunt guys. Like I remember the stories. Like there was a scene like Bruce Lee or somebody like kicks him or punches him in the head, and he like realized it was Bruce Lee, so he overplays like, oh, it hurts so bad, just so he could sit there with like Bruce Lee. It was either Chinese Connection
Yo,
or Big
man, why
Boss.
not? Right? That's a smart move.
I'm trying to think. I think it was Enter the Dragon. He got his neck broke.
Google me, bitch.
I'm Googling it.
Nice. All right. So then, what's your cult movie?
Hold
while
on, I wanna-
while he's googling.
I want to know.
This
I
could
want
take forever. I
know.
mean,
He just
you
got
know,
to type
this-
in.
Jackie Chan began his film career as a stuntman and worked on 2 of Bruce Lee's films, Fist of Fury, 1972,
Fist of
which he
Fury.
also had a tiny role as a Japanese martial arts student, and Enter the Dragon,
There you go.
1973.
There you go.
So
See?
he did.
50-50.
I'll never forget, he broke his neck. He grabbed him by his hair and snapped his fuck. I was like,
Oh,
"Dude,
shit.
How you gonna do Jackie like that?
There you go. See, I don't remember everything.
It's okay.
Nah, that's all right.
Somebody's gonna call me out on my bullshit in a
For
little bit.
sure.
So hey, let's hang in
Good
there.
to go.
I mean, it
Stick
was
around.
him that told
Pro-
me it was Ving Rhames that played the Kingpin
Off
before the
yeah.
podcast started.
Yeah. I sent him a text when he went to get the fucking pizza.
Just so you know,
I had a slice. It was great.
I got 2 actually that I really, really dig that I think most people should watch. And number 1 is the original Andromeda strain.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I know it. Haven't seen it.
do you know like it was a book? I want to say it was what the hell is the guy's name? Whatever. Basically, this town gets completely wiped out. The satellite falls like on Earth. This entire town gets wiped out. So they go to check out to see what happened, and they find out that there's like a virus that's hitting this entire town. Dude, it's super like sketchy. If you watch it now with everything that's going on, like 100% you can look at it and connect it to. So they're trying to figure out. They realize the satellite came down to Earth, and they're thinking that might be what killed it. But the only people that survived this entire like massacre in this town is an old guy and a newborn baby.
Fuck.
So they take these 2, they go back to this secret top like underground facility in the desert to try and figure out like what it is. At the same time, because they don't know what it was, the government's like, just nuke it. Like nuke that whole town. So these
Sounds
people
about right.
yeah. So these people are freaking out, trying to figure out. They're like, we only have X amount of time to figure out what is causing this virus
Before
and
they
what's
nuke it.
killing everybody. And then they find out there's a storm coming that's taking all the wind and it's bringing it out to like metropolitan areas and
shit.
stuff like that.
Great.
So, dude, it's so good. They remade it. I want to say like 10 years ago with oh my gosh, I forget the Spanish actor's name. He's really good.
John Leguizamo.
Not John Leguizamo.
Antonio Banderas.
Nope.
Hector.
No, the guy he
Hector's
was
in all the movies, bro. And that is his real name. He plays Hector, and he is Hector.
No, he was.
Do we need to fact check that?
I don't know.
Man.
I've seen enough memes.
Is it something with like an L? I want to say it's like Louis or something like that. Whatever. Anyway, watch the original one. It's from like the 60s or something like that. It's really good. And then the other one is actually a Norwegian movie called Troll Hunter.
I've seen that on
never
Amazon.
heard of
I have
it.
not watched it.
Dude,
yet.
watch it.
Is it
It's
good?
good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
It's filmed Blair Witch-esque, where it's like, oh, this
Found
footage was
footage.
found and blah, blah, blah. And it's these 3 college students are filming a documentary because there's been an ongoing thing with poachers killing bears in the woods. So they're trying to find out like, oh, who this poacher is and like who it is. And there's news articles you see like, oh, we think we know who it is. We're trying to find out. We're trying to see why someone would do this. And the 3 college kids find a guy that is suspected to be the poacher. And like he's sitting there living out of a camper in the middle of nowhere. And they start following him. So they see late at night, he takes off in his truck and they go and follow him all the way into the woods. They see it's like no one's allowed here, like bomb site, whatever. They find him and all of a sudden he comes running up to them like, troll! And they're fucking around. You see like a giant troll. Dude, it's so good.
That's what's up.
Because it's like,
I'm going to have to fucking look at this.
dude, it's really good. So it's very tense for like a lot of the movie, and it's none
like
of it
a
is really
build-up.
the buildup is great. They're not too much on the shaky camera thing, so it's good. But the story, it's like they do a really good job at making it look like it's real, and they're following the guy, and they find out more about it. Dude, it builds up to the end where they kind of hype you up so much where you're just like, oh crap, they end up. I don't want to spoil it because you should watch it.
I want to check it out.
I'm actually gonna look at this tonight.
It's really good, dude.
I've
like,
seen it. It's recommended for me in my.
Yeah,
Don't listen to him
I've
because
seen
he
the
said
name
he's gonna watch
before.
Firefly. How many weeks now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's
I'll
even
get
got the
around
box
to
set sitting
Wait,
in his house.
how
and he
many
hasn't watched
episodes?
it.
How many episodes of
Only
Firefly?
it's only like 11 or 12.
All right, I'll watch 2 episodes.
If you watch the first 2 episodes, I guarantee
You're gonna hate it. No.
No,
You watch episodes 1 and 2. I'll watch 3 and 4. We'll talk about
Okay,
it.
we'll talk about it. I'll give you the cliff notes.
Yeah. We'll bring it up to
All right,
speed.
good. All right, Eddie, you watched the first half of Troll. I'll watch the second half of Troll.
Sure, that works.
Got it.
That's actually gonna screw you over because it's the second half that you got to get into. But it takes about like 20 minutes to get into it.
Okay.
But dude, it's a good
Worthwhile
movie.
investment. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
before Eddie goes on his pick, you reminded me of something that I watched.
He already
that
did his
I
pick.
I
think-
think he already did his pick.
It's Ian's.
Oh, so
Wow.
even better.
Wow,
Okay,
way,
so-
way to care. Way to fucking care
Yeah,
about us,
thanks,
man.
thanks a lot for Thing Rings. All right, so there's this UK show called Misfits.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Only the first 2 seasons, though.
It's a good band, too.
Seasons
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5 are trash because they get rid of the main character who actually plays
At least
in the
the
Umbrella
the
Academy.
funniest guy that carries the show.
Yeah, and they just go off the rails. But it's known in like the UK shows where like they'll either do 1 or 2 seasons and then it ends, or the characters are often switching within the same show, like Doctor Who, things like that.
Yeah.
But the first 2 seasons of Misfits is probably one of the best superhero shows that doesn't have anything to do with Marvel or DC. It's basically just a bunch of juvenile delinquents,
Yep.
assholes
Yeah.
that should not have superhero powers at all. And they
Basically,
get
us if we had superheroes.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And they get superhero powers, but they get the worst superhero powers.
what?
Like the one kid who's basically a stalker
Yeah.
gets to turn invisible.
But he can only do it when people aren't watching him.
Right, so nobody believes him that he can turn invisible. He's like, "Come on, guys, look!" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're invisible." But then, like, he'll be off in the locker room like a little fucking perv, or
Win-win.
the girl who's a slut in the show.
Right.
Politically
Her
correct.
power is if you touch her, you want to have sex with her, but like in a really bad way. Like she doesn't want you. It's not like, oh, we want each other. It's like, oh my, I gotta have you now. And like, so she goes from like loving all of the attention of being like the popular girl because she's a slut to like, I don't want anybody to touch me. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, I would love that like power. I'd be coming up to like random people. High five?
yeah.
High five, high five, high five.
Yeah.
All right, we're
High five,
good.
everybody.
You know,
It's like
the one-
you no high fives for you.
The one
no.
ability I won't spoil because if you watch it, he
Yeah.
spends an entire episode trying to figure out his power.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's great how he wound up figuring out his fucking power. Because everybody else gets it. He's the big mouth, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta have a superpower."
Yeah.
So it's a British
Oh,
show.
what is it? I'll try to fly.
Yes.
I'll try to jump. Yeah. But it's a great show because it's just a lot of trash talking. It's really funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and the characters sell it, you know, like really well.
You want a show, like a foreign show to watch that'll make you fucking die laughing.
Absolutely.
Documental on Netflix.
I don't
Heard
think
of
I
it.
definitely never heard of that.
Dude. So do you remember Silent Library?
Yes.
Like remember those guys from Silent
Yes.
Library?
Yes.
All right, so I want to say it's Miyamoto, I think was the guy's name. He created the show where he locks up like 7 or 8 comedians in this room, and Everyone has to bring in, I think it was like 10,000 yen or something like that. It's like $10,000, whatever. Everyone has to chip in $10,000. That's the prize at the end. And the whole thing is you're locked in there for like 6 hours, 8 hours, and you cannot laugh.
Oh.
Everybody else's goal is to try and make you laugh,
Fuck.
but you cannot laugh. So
I would lose so fast.
Dude, I would love to try and remake this, but you have to watch it because obviously it's Japanese comedy.
Dude, Japanese
So
game
it's
shows are the fucking
so
best.
out there.
They're
It
the
gets
best.
to the
Yeah.
point where like one of like the guys is his way to try and make other people laugh is sticking something in his penis and just waiting for it to come out like natural. It's so bad. You're like, oh my God, thank God it's all blurred out. But it gets, and it's the stupidest shit that happens that like
That's
just makes
fucking
people
great.
fall. So someone falls in like 5 minutes. And then it gets to the point where it's just so absurd what they're doing. They're like slapping each other to try and make each other laugh. Dude, it's so good.
There was a Japanese game show. I forget what the hell it was. It was years ago, and I remember seeing it on the internet. It was like 72 hours. They took comedians,
Yeah.
similar thing, and they put them in a gymnasium.
It's the same guys.
Really?
It's the same
Yeah.
guys. Yeah,
They'd make these fuckers sleep in a pile,
Yeah.
like in the center, and then random shit would happen to them.
Yeah.
They would like turn the fire sprinklers on,
Yeah.
or like they would in the middle of the night when they're trying to sleep, they would send a guy in a horrifying costume in, and he was literally able to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
That's
like,
great.
like, I guess they signed a contract
Yeah.
that this guy could do anything. He was like beating the shit out
Yeah.
of these guys. He would,
So
he would just run in. He was like a judo guy. He had good technique. He would run in, like throw a guy through the air and start beating their I'm like, he's literally beating the fuck out of this
Oh,
guy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
man. They're like,
So-
wait, let's make it a black belt.
Dude,
Dude, he was
Yeah.
highly trained. He had to be an
This-
MMA fighter. Like,
So it's those same guys, and they have like different series where they put stuff like out there. So you can Google them. I forget the name of their troop. They're like a little troop. They have another one where they spend an entire day in school, like they're going back to school, and the same thing. They're not allowed to laugh. If they laugh, somebody comes in with a kendo stick and just cracks it on their ass. So like,
Yo, let's do this. Let's
dude.
let's get enough people and let's
say
fucking
we-
do
I'm all
something
for
like
it.
this.
I'm
all
down
But
to do it.
We have to be the masterminds. Like we have to get other people involved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
Dude.
create their torture.
I'm telling you, there's so many good like Japanese game shows that you could sit there and watch. So that same one, so like that one where they're in the high school, right? They take them to like English class and then PE class. So they go to PE class, and all of a sudden you start hearing Ricky Martin. It's like bap, bap, bap. They get a professional Japanese wrestler come out. His name is Hard Gay.
Oh, my God.
yeah.
So he comes out
That's
in like
the best
plaid-
name in
Dude,
professional
no,
wrestling
it gets
history.
way better. It gets way better.
they cut straight to the point.
Dude,
Straight to the point.
It gets way better.
Oh,
He's like
shit.
full on like pleather like vest, pleather speedo and hat and sunglasses. He's like, all right, I'm gonna teach you how to do PE. We're gonna do exercise. He's like, we're gonna start with a warm up. Let's do hip thrusts. He's like, yeah, and then you start slow. He's like, and then you start going fast. So he's like throwing it like super fast, right? And they're just sitting there looking, and then he just goes like super slow. He's like, this looks like I'm going slow, but I'm actually going so fast that it looks slow motion to you. Dude, they just start dying laughing. They all get taken out.
Oh,
and
that's fucking
they
great.
do this all the time. That was like their thing. So they did another one where the same guy, Miyamoto, is like, I know I'm probably going to say the name wrong. People are going to shit on it, whatever. Fucking get over it. He loses a bet. He has to stay in his house his whole day. Can't react to anybody. Cannot react to anybody. The whole time they get to hit him with pie, like with whipped cream pies. So he's sleeping. It's like the alarm goes on. It's like, he's like, wham! Just cracks him in the face, and he's like, can't react. He's like, takes it, and then he like gets up. He goes to smoke a cigarette. Wham! Another one to the face. He goes to take a shower. He's like, oh, all right. Takes a shower. As soon as he's done drying off, wham! They crack him again. He's like, guess I'll go to the bathroom. He's sitting there like on the toilet. And he's just like, mind you, cameras are like filming. You see, like he's just sitting there. One dude comes up like, wham! And smashes him in the junk. He's like, huh! No reaction. He goes to start taking toilet paper. A guy comes up like, wham! Cracks it on the toilet paper.
Man.
Dude, you have to watch these guys. They're so good.
That's fucking great. That's great.
Yeah, if you want to watch fucked up game shows,
I'll
watch
check that
Japanese
shit out.
game
I'll
shows.
check that shit
They
out.
definitely push the limits. It's some of
Yeah.
the funniest shit you can find on the internet.
They actually have one that created an entire ban on these types of game shows. and I can't remember the name of it. Denpa Shōnen. Dude, you want to watch something serious? No, like, this is no joke.
I'm on it.
Seriously, like, psychologically fucking up someone on live TV, Google Denpa Shōnen. So what they did is they grabbed random people off the street, brought them into a room. Everyone got a number. They put a number in the box. They're like, anybody that, like, whoever we pick, you're going to get picked up. You're going to get taken away. You're going to be on our game show. Obviously, like, Japanese people, like, they want that to be
They're
famous.
in there. Yeah, they love that.
This guy was a comedian at the time, so he's like, for sure, I'm in. He's like, we're going to take you away. Excuse me. And you're going to be on our game show. You had, like, you're literally signing your life away to these people. So, excuse me, this guy gets picked, blindfold him, put him in a van, and they drive around for hours. They just drive around, completely disorient him. Blindfolded, walking him into this room, probably the size of this room right here. Say, like, they take off the blindfold. So it was here, there's a rack of magazines, a tiny little coffee table with postcards, a little kitchenette area, and the floor. That's it. That's all he gets, like a little bathroom, whatever.
Right.
That's it. That's all that's in this room.
It was canceled due to the government's crackdown on torture regulations.
So, dude, no, listen. This is how bad it gets, right? So,
Wow.
they're like, he comes in and he's like, has no clue what's going on. They're like, take off all your clothes. Like, completely naked. So he's like, okay, like, has no clue. He's like, you have to live off of whatever you win in those magazine contests. So, like, all the prizes. So, like, remember
Holy
back in the
shit.
day where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
send in your
for
name.
this. Yeah.
So, like, you have to live just off of what you get off of that. No food, no nothing. Like, you have to reach 10,000 yen, whatever it was. You cannot leave until you reach 10,000 yen worth of prizes.
Holy shit.
So, I was like, that's it. Go.
And what's that the equivalent of in
I think it was something like $1,000 or
but
something
still,
crazy.
having to win that
Yeah,
is fucking nuts.
It's generally take a zero off the end and it becomes roundabout.
And
Yeah.
you know, most of that shit is a scam anyway, so they're not trying to send you nothing.
So here's what happens. So obviously there's cameras, just like there are hidden cameras. It's not like there's a camera crew. There's hidden cameras everywhere. So he starts, all right, with the radio too. So he can win whatever's on the radio too. So he's sitting there just kind of writing. I mean, that's literally all he did was write his name, like the address and stuff, and just send it out, send it out.
Jesus.
So he was signing up for whatever.
Right.
For like a week. And then he realized, oh no, even the food you eat, you have to win. So he starts signing up for like rice and this, that, and the other. Like he slowly.
But he could have quit at any time.
He could have quit at any time.
Okay.
It became such a popular TV show. So they hired an entire crew where they would just follow him with this program where it just showed an eggplant. So his nickname was Eggplant Man because of his head. So like they cover his dong with an eggplant everywhere that he went.
God.
But he's there and the whole time just signing. Then he realizes that you start seeing his hair getting longer, his nails getting longer because mind you, no scissors, no nail clippers, no nothing. He starts winning dog food. He's eating dog food. Dude, slowly as you the show progresses, I think it was only something like 15 episodes, you start seeing someone legitimately fall into like insanity.
Sure.
So
Like
this show
he decided probably I'm gonna win this regardless.
Yes.
So check this out. This show became so popular that people ended up discovering where he was, and someone came in. So they whisked him away in the middle of the night, got an entirely separate apartment, drove him around, put him in that one. Now he's back into another apartment. Like he was trying to win whatever. He wins like women's underwear. And that was like his only article of clothing was like women's underwear. So he didn't, like, dude, he's naked this entire time because like clothes aren't important.
Sure.
Food's important.
Sure.
So he's going and going and going. He just kept going, and you see where the little things become super exciting. He's like, I won a bag of rice, like super excited. He was living off of this tiny little bag of rice. Fuck. Right?
I can't imagine why the show got canceled.
No, dude, it gets worse. Check this out. So how long do you think he was there for?
Knowing the Japanese.
If he's growing hair and nails, I'd say at least 3 to 4 months.
14 months.
Jesus.
More. It's somewhere around there if you want to Google it because I forget it. It's something like 14, 15 months. So at one point, they take him out. They're like, yo, this guy's legit going crazy. Let's take him out like on vacation. So they film like out at the beach, whatever. Bring him back. Do whatever. He's back at it. He's going and going and going. Finally achieves like the $1,000, like the 10,000 yen, whatever mark he was. They pick him up. They don't tell him that he won, right? They pick him up, whisk him away, take him away to this other thing, ends up in an exact same room that he was just at.
Oh.
They gave him clothes, right? They gave him clothes like, hey, all right, we're going, put these on, whatever. He gets into this room. He spent the last year and some months naked, so clothes feel awkward to him.
Yeah.
So he just takes them off. He just takes them off. He's like, oh, that feels so much better. No sooner does he do that all the walls drop down and the roof comes up and he's in the studio filled with people.
He
and they're
must
like,
have
hey,
fucking lost his shit.
Dude, he was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, like covering his junk with the pillows. Like, what the fuck is going on? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, you won. Congratulations. Like, completely fucking with this guy, right? So, like, all right, congratulations. You won, whatever. Like, you'll get your own series. Now you win an all-expense paid trip to Seoul, South Korea. So they take him to South Korea. They're following him. He's like, he loves kimchi. So, like, he spends all his money just eating kimchi. They take him back to his hotel. Like, boom, take off all your clothes. Like, whatever. Like, if you want to go back home, you got to win, like, 1 million yen worth of prizes to get a plane ticket to get back home.
That's fucked up.
So that's where all the crackdown comes in, dude. And they're like,
no, yeah,
because it was a game show, was really a torture show, dude.
Yeah, that's
this like. So you watch the episode 1 all the way to.
I'm getting stressed out just hearing this.
Yeah,
Dude, holy
if
shit.
you can find the episodes, like I think I have a couple of them, but to watch it and you watch the legitimate mental breakdown of a human being just because they want to be famous, it'll blow your freaking mind.
And you got to realize with a lot of the Japanese game shows, it's not good prizes. The prize you get is the pride
Of being on
of winning.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not like
fuck that.
American game shows where like you get a $10,000, you get $1 million. No. You get good job, you won.
Yeah, no, you're on TV.
That's like what you were saying with the original Ninja Warrior. There was no cash prize. You
Yeah,
just,
no,
you
it
just
was-
got to the top of Mount
Yeah,
Midori.
it was you got to the top. Congratulations. That was
But that
it.
was up because only one person made it up to Mount.
You didn't. People didn't always make it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
one person ever got to finish it.
No,
there's a
people
couple-
didn't.
there's a
There
couple
was most seasons nobody won.
Yeah, no, I remember.
And-
I watched
and-
every
yeah.
single one. Trust me,
I
I love that
remember the
show.
crab fisherman. I remember that fucking guy.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
was the best.
I mean, when I got to the top about
Yeah.
Midori,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Close enough. Yeah.
yeah. I remember it so vividly. The
My Japanese was a lot better.
they put me in a
much better
van.
back
They
then.
drove me around. They took me to this location. They're like, "Hey, if you want to get home,
Climb this fucking mountain.
yo, but that sounds outrageous."
I'm telling you, if you can find the episodes, I know somewhere I have like a couple of the episodes because it was just erased. It was only
I
like
mean,
17
I was gonna
episodes.
when you brought up Japanese game shows, I was gonna talk about a crazy one that I had heard of, but it has nothing on what you just described. It was they would take contestants, you'd be live, your lower body would be in a box.
I remember this one, yeah.
And then they would stick a gay man in the box, and the last person. Exactly. It's going exactly. It's going exactly where you're
No,
going.
100%. This
The
was
person who held out the longest would be the winner.
Yeah.
Why would you sign up for that?
Dude, there's a bunch.
You know what? Maybe if you're into it, you're into it. That's fine. But me as a straight man, I would see like no reasoning behind it.
Some of these game shows, your family would sign you up.
Yeah.
One of the famous
See,
clips
that's
that
when
I
you go
always
back home.
There's
and you
no
fuck your family up.
cash prize.
no.
I mean,
one
there
of
is a prize in it all its own when you're in the box.
One of my favorite clips from one of the Japanese game shows, you would sign up your family, you would get, and they would pick you up in a taxi. The taxi would be driving, and it would be set up to split down the middle, where the driver goes one way, and you go the other, careening towards a lake.
Yeah.
Damn.
This was a game show.
I don't enjoy
there's, like,
careening
They,
towards
they
that.
did one of those in a skiing lodge too.
Like the sleeping guy.
Well, they had the bathroom set up. You'd go in
Yeah.
to take a shit, and you'd sit on the toilet. And as soon as you sat down in the toilet, all of a sudden the wall would
Lifts up.
explode, and the toilet was on rocket skis. And you're sitting there like this with your ass out, just firing down the mountain on this
I would-
toilet. Like,
You know
love
what? That would be hilarious.
I would love to.
Yeah,
That actually kind of happened to me.
yeah.
You want to hear a fucking gross, funny
Oh
story?
yeah, you have to finish the story from there. Yeah.
So,
you can't
Yeah,
start
yeah,
with that.
yeah,
We didn't do-
so I signed up for a Spartan race. This was years ago. It was the Super Spartan. Zero training for it. I was only doing jiu-jitsu. So it was down in Miami. This is like 11 miles, like 12 miles, like race. It's down in Miami. Now, here's my thing. Everybody's got a pre-game ritual, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own thing. Playing basketball, whatever. I would always, my only pre-game ritual, even for jiu-jitsu tournaments, I just got to take a dump. I just got to take a dump. I need to be light. I need to not feel like constrict. I just, whatever.
Yeah.
So I get to the Spartan race. It's like 7:30 in the morning. Obviously didn't have enough time. So I go. I was like, they have a courtyard of porta potties, right? It's just a square of porta potties. They're all facing in. I'm like, I have to go. I can't. There's no way I can
No,
run
you do,
11
because
miles.
if you got to go into a porta potty, you know it's a dire
Yeah, when you're like,
situation.
I don't care, it's a porta potty.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get in. I'm like, I'm not putting my butt cheeks on these pristine cheeks on this dirty ass like toilet.
So did you Spider-Man it?
No, I just did the squat. So it's like
The hover.
shorts.
yeah,
Like I'm standing, just
Legs
like
real far out the side, like,
no, 100%. Just standing squat, just wide, and I'm sitting there like holding like the wall. Mind you, I locked the door. Yeah, these are really shitty porta potties. So
I'm starting to paint a picture.
yeah. So, bro, I had to take the biggest dump ever. I am pushing out a log that you have not seen, like Randy Marsh level log, where like this is coming out my ass cheek in one solid piece. And I'm standing there like, Suddenly, this girl swings the door open. Not even like a polite peek.
Yeah.
This
And
bitch-
you're in the air.
Dude,
You're in the air, so the dangler.
so I'm
in
like
full
full
view.
on just like she swings the door open and my initial reaction is like, ah! And she's like opening the door. She's like, oh my God. There was about 30 or 40 people in this courtyard that all turned to the screams. They're like, huh?
Oh shit!
So like 30 or 40 people just saw a whole fruit bowl of my junk with a giant log hanging out the back. And she's like, and she doesn't even like slam the door. She like lets it go.
Oh,
so
no.
it's a slow close. So it's,
She couldn't even give you the courtesy close.
Seal.
Oh
She
shit!
just
It was-
seals the tomb.
I made eye contact with about 10 people in those 3 seconds. I was like, ah, ah, ah. I was like, ick. Dude, and I was like, and then as soon as it closes, I just hear, "Wah!" Everybody fucking laughing. I
Bro,
was
they
like,
should have gave you the award there, like
Yeah.
the Spartan prize. Like, please, just go home.
yeah.
You don't have to run.
Yeah,
After
You've
that
been
log,
through
for
enough.
sure, I earned it.
yeah, you've been
Dude.
through enough.
I will never forget making eye contact with people as that door is slowly like.
Yeah, there's nothing like that embarrassing moment because
No.
everybody's like they will cement this moment in their life.
Oh, they're telling this story right now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure. It's for sure. There's
man.
somebody out there telling stories like, bro, remember
They're
that
like, this
time
door
when-"
blew open. This guy had a massive log
dude.
hanging out of his ass.
Whenever someone talks about running in their general vicinity, like I did a Spartan race once, and we were by the porta potties.
And you know though, like outside of that, the shittiest thing out of that whole thing, I sprained my ankle on the very first obstacle.
Oh.
So I had to run the next like 11 miles, like just limping along. I finished it.
Yeah.
It took me 3 hours, 4 hours. I was like, fucking never again. It's so stupid.
That's fucking
But
great.
dude, and like, I'll never forget just sitting there, like, you know, like that rapid eye motion of you're just tracking items. It was just eyeball, 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 eyeball. Like, and everybody is doing this where it's like eye, dookie, eye, junk dookie, eye, junk dookie. Like, all right.
Just gathering data.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like,
There's nothing you can do after
So-
that, man.
Pro tip, knock before you enter. Just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Or before you go to the Spartan race, alleviate.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's not my fault. My body is programmed. It's like, all right, go time is in 10. Let's go now.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
It was so bad, man.
Always shit before you Spartan.
Yeah. All right, so I think we left off with Ian's.
Oh, man.
Cult choice.
Yeah, that was way back before Japanese torture.
Yeah.
Let me dial it back.
Which was
a little.
fantastic.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, watch the show and like text me after. Just watch like the first 4
I'm
episodes.
definitely gonna check it out. For
Like-
sure.
Oh yeah, we take turns here. You know, we like this.
Except
we
for
dive down some-
Firefly.
Yeah, well, I'll get around to it.
Hard pass.
A little
I'll
salty,
watch.
a little
I'll literally.
salty.
I'll watch
Yeah.
the first 2-3 episodes
Yo.
and text you.
Yeah. You're gonna like it.
What
No,
the
I'm
hell
saying I'll text Ian and be like, don't.
Don't do it.
There's
What
no
we were
phone
talking about things that people should watch.
No,
Yeah,
the
something that you liked that may not necessarily be mainstream.
yeah, some like a movie that you watch that most people wouldn't know about that you think
Oh.
like this deserves more recognition than it has.
Okay. Actually, there's one that's on Amazon right now. Has anyone seen the 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas?
Fucking love that,
There you
Yeah,
go.
I've seen it.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antonio Banderas. It's have you seen that?
I've seen the name pop up.
Basically,
Yeah.
Beowulf.
never watched it? It's like
No.
Dude.
imagine a mixture of like kind of the retelling of Beowulf meets what we touched on earlier, kind of a little bit of a Kira Kurosawa Seven
Yeah.
Samurai theme to it.
Mm.
Guy from the middle. I won't ruin too much of it, but guy from the Middle East. I think he's like a writer or a prophet, something like that. He does some shit there where he has to leave. So he goes on an exodus north with his uncle. Ends up getting to the Northlands where Vikings are, and he comes in contact with this group of Vikings. Blah blah. They're drinking. They're rowdy. They're warrior type people. He ends up. Something happens at the dinner where a king calls for aid. They need help up north. There's some kind of problem with their land. And the old wise woman throws down the bones or whatever. We need 13 people. People start volunteering, and when they get 12 Vikings. Then when they get to number 13, she says the 13th warrior can't be a Northman. Well, there's 2 Arabs in the room. One of them's like in his 60s, and the other one's a young, capable warrior.
So he got chose by default.
Yeah, and ignore the whole fact that it's a Mexican guy playing an Arab,
Yeah.
but we're gonna
Yeah.
ignore that. You know, this is, but it's actually
Still got a good team.
it's actually a great movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great movie about the whole journey and what he goes through and the shit they have to deal with when they get to the Northern Kingdom. It's if you're a fan of the show Vikings, if you're a fan of any of that like old style Game of Thrones, if you like the story Beowulf,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
or
cool.
you know, it's a
Dude.
interesting movie.
I'm pretty sure I still have the movie ticket from when I saw it in the movie theater.
Really,
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah,
It's
it was
so
a really
good.
good movie.
I don't think it gets enough credit because you ask
Yeah,
people and they're like,
100%.
a lot of people are like, what do you mean 13th Warrior?
It's like so
Yeah.
they're all used to like drinking and stuff like that, and then the night that all this stuff goes down, it's like tonight we don't drink, brother.
yeah,
Like tonight we don't drink, little brother.
and they're all fucking laying there snoring.
Yeah.
They're all wide awake, like one eye open. They're just making snoring noises. It's so wild,
Dude,
It's a wild
that movie is so good, and really. The only name in that entire movie is Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
All the rest are like foreign actors.
And he doesn't even bring his guitar case.
Doesn't.
What a
no,
shame.
Not once.
Yeah.
Not once.
All right. So
That guitar case full of guns would have really came in handy.
it probably would
right?
have helped out a
up
lot.
in the north. Yeah.
I say we got some food here. Before we end it, let's all just decide on one movie that you think nobody should fucking watch.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, and I've got a great one.
Oh, I've got one.
So go for it.
Are we starting out?
Yeah.
What if I want people to watch it because it's such a piece of shit?
I've done that to
That is the
people. I've done
story.
that to people.
That is the story that I'm gonna tell because me and Nelson did this. It was In the Name of the King.
Oh,
It
man,
was.
yes.
It's like
It's so
Uwe
bad.
Bowl rated kind of
Goddamn.
movie.
That's so
Wasn't
good. It's
Jason
so bad.
Statham in that?
Yes, he was, and he was
so
named
was Lou Pearlman.
Ron Perlman.
Ron
Ron
Perlman.
Perlman.
Yes.
So it was based off a video game, and it is so bad. It was terrible. It was the worst movie I think I have ever seen.
Wow.
So what me and Nelson did after we watched it was we went around to everyone. We were working for Shutter Company at the time, won't be named, and
No credit.
we went around to everybody there, and we kept passing it to other people. Like, listen,
It's
look,
like that fucking Ring.
yes,
Yeah, watch this shit.
yes.
Watch this
We're
shit.
like, but we would
tomorrow on it.
we would preface it like, look, The first 30 minutes, it's kind of rough. It's rough in the first. You really got to
That's why
get.
you get them to get into
You
the
gotta
movie.
get into
so
it.
you guys are
gotta get-
assholes.
Yo,
All right.
and as we would
When
go,
you really get it.
and,
the
and
material.
people would come back like, "This is the biggest piece of shit." I'm like, "Cool. Help us sell it to the next
But
guy."
listen, like it's so bad on so many levels. Like it takes itself very seriously.
Yes.
But
Is that
they
the
have
one?
fight scenes like Power Rangers.
Yeah,
is
the
that-
guys are wearing like Power Ranger level outfits.
Oh,
as
you
villains.
sold me. I'm watching
Is
it.
that the one where Ray Liotta plays the
Yes,
sorcerer?
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And like
Like,
all the
characters
warriors
are named like Farmer.
Yes.
It's super generic. Like
That-
they didn't even give names.
That movie is a steaming
No,
pile of
it's-
shit.
it's
That
a-
movie is.
I'm
fucking-
so in.
All right, yeah.
It's
It
fucking
sounds like I'm
horrible.
actually gonna enjoy it.
No, it's so fucking bad.
oh,
bro.
it's
It really is.
fucking-
Total
It's
side
so,
note.
it's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Watch, like you'll dig this. Watch, shit. I think Wizard of Id. I think it's called. No, it's actually good. It's actually good. I
Wizard
don't know
of
why you
Id.
reminded me. I'll send you a link. It's an Australian TV show.
Okay.
It's actually pretty fucking funny. I'll show you a clip after when we're done here. But sorry, yeah.
So
you guys go.
So for me, my worst movie is Copland.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Fucking hated Copland. It had the greatest cast and the shittiest fucking movie. I hated Sylvester Stallone in the movie. I hated everybody else that was in the movie. And I watched it to the end because that's me. Like I'm gonna see it to the end. Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm gonna see this shitty fucking movie through. I can't even tell you how much hatred I had for it that I forgot most of the plot line. But as I'm watching the movie, I'm like,
Oh my God.
who would do this to Sly, to Sylvester Stallone? Like, why is he like this? Why is this movie
Who
so
cursed
bad?
out the editor of this
Yeah.
movie
Wait,
that
so-
this is how the final presentation is?
Is that the same one, or am I getting mixed up? That's the movie that Maynard James Keenan from Tool is in.
Yes, I believe
wow.
so. Yeah,
wow.
it was.
Yeah.
I hated it. All right, yeah, that's my choice.
That's a
That's
shame
my
as a Tool
choice.
fan.
Yeah.
It's
That's
horrible.
my choice.
The movies that people should never fucking see, or that they should see because they're that bad. Okay, I got one of them.
Nightmare Before Christmas. No.
The Room.
Has its moments. The American with George Clooney. The American with George Clooney. My brother saw it first. Remember, he went to see it with some friends. Told me how fucking horrible it was, and I was like, I saw it on HBO, and I was like, I'm gonna do this to
I'm
myself.
still gonna do it. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
I'm
he's like,
going
literally
in.
don't. He's like, don't. He's like concerned. He said,
Yeah.
don't fucking do it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. The movie. I don't even know how. Like, nothing fucking happened. Like, he was a guy living in a foreign country, and he was supposed to be doing spy work.
So he was just an American.
And then he pays for a hooker and then like eats her pussy. It was the weirdest shit. Like,
You
that's
sure
all
you
he did
downloaded
was-
the right
no,
version?
No, George Clooney. George Clooney was on the
Yeah,
screen.
are you sure you watched the right American?
Like, are you?
God.
Did you mistake like Amazon Prime for Pornhub?
I really thought to myself, I was like, this is a horrible representation of Americans. Like this, no, like, so if you feel like just delving into like nonsense, that's one. Another one I would recommend. This was back when Redbox was a thing. Spring Breakers with James Franco.
Oh yeah.
That
I
movie-
believe I've seen that.
That movie is a
I
literal
seen-
shit fest.
I seen the
James
preview
Franco.
and I decided against it right away.
When
Yeah.
Riff Raff gets offended that you are possibly portraying him in the
Yeah.
movie, it's a bad fucking movie. I think Selena Gomez was in it for 10 minutes and then she said, "Fuck this!" Like her character literally left Spring Break and went back north. Like she's like, "I'm getting out of Florida. Like I don't want to."
Well, it's James Franco. She probably left for other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching the movie and at one point like James Franco was with two underage girls and started to deep throat a gun and I went, "Okay,
I'm
what
out.
am I?"
Sounds like James Franco movie.
Okay, I
One of
don't
my-
think I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then.
it's really, and like I said, I downloaded the right one. It was really James Franco.
Questionable.
It's just the material. You know, they kind of just lost track of whatever,
Ugh.
or maybe they stayed on track of whatever the producer's vision was. I don't know.
It sounds like they stayed on track.
Fuck
for James
yeah.
Franco.
Fucking great.
So yeah, check out The American with George Clooney and Spring Breakers.
Or don't. Or
Or
don't.
don't.
Or
Or don't.
or don't. Those are my picks for
All right.
things you should watch
Yeah.
Yeah.
or never watch.
I got a couple because I love shit movies. I love the most absolute trash movies. So I'll give you 3. I won't get too deep into it because they're fucking trash. Slugs is a good one.
Okay.
That's like an old one.
Okay, old school horror movie. All right.
So that one is radioactive slugs, like slugs in the sewer, like somebody illegally dumped radioactive waste. Slugs.
So is that related to the porta potty story?
After that one, for sure. That like I definitely should have gotten like parasites.
No Master
checked.
Splinter in there with the radioactive.
No. So get this. I'll give you a scene on it. So what happens is radioactive waste gets illegally dumped in the sewers. The slugs end up becoming like, I guess, sentient. They start killing people. So it starts going through the sewers. So this lady has like a shitty husband who's just like a cokehead or whatever. She comes home from the grocery store with a head of lettuce, throws it in the sink, just turns on the water to let it rinse, walks away, makes a salad for her husband, doesn't realize a slug came through the sink and got put into the lettuce. She's like chopping it up, whatever, gives him the lettuce, he eats it, nothing happens. That night, he goes to like some business dinner with his boss, and they're just sitting there at some fancy restaurant talking. He's like, oh yeah, and all of a sudden his nose starts bleeding. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like thinking it's all like the coke that he like did. He goes, wipes his nose in the bathroom, comes back, and all of a sudden, and like slugs just start coming out of his eyeballs and nose and like his mouth. So he's sitting there like, that's the extent of how shitty that movie is.
So they weren't even like radioactive giant slugs.
No,
they
no,
were
no.
like tiny.
They're just
They
killer
somehow
slugs.
Killer
multiplied
slugs.
inside
Yeah.
of them. Okay.
And then one that's kind of old, it's really shitty, and it's called Rubber.
Is that the one with the tire?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
I watched like 30 minutes waiting for something to fucking
I
happen.
watched that whole
and nothing
piece of shit. You know what I'm talking
There's a
about?
whole genre. There's like
Listen,
Attack of the
I-
Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Fucking
No.
No,
But
no,
you
that's
know
at least
Rubber. Do you know that movie
entertainment.
Rubber?
I've never seen it. I've heard about it though.
It's a telekinetic homicidal tire.
I
that
commend
ends
you
up.
for finishing that movie because
yeah.
I got like 30 minutes in and I'm like, I can't.
So are we talking?
I don't know what is happening. This is.
Oh, and he ends up getting a girlfriend that he bangs.
Is it like? Is it like a tractor tire? Or is it,
No, it's a regular car tire.
Car tire.
So here's how the movie starts.
All right.
You're looking down at a dirt path in the middle of the desert that's got chairs just kind of positioned like zigzag.
Okay.
Lincoln Town car comes up out of nowhere and just starts swerving and smashes every single one of the chairs in the zigzag. It's just going left and right, smashing the chairs. Stops sideways, like cop comes out and is like, why do we do anything? Like, he's like the stupidest thing. It's like, why do we tell this story? And then next thing you know, it cuts away to this tire in the middle of the desert, just sitting there, and it just starts rumbling and rumbling and rumbling. And like, you just see it all of a sudden, like shaking, and it goes vertical. And then it starts like learning how to roll. This is like 20 minutes.
You might think he's lying. He's not. This is a real movie that
is point for
somebody
point.
made.
This is point for point. The tire is shaking. For whatever reason, there's a group of people on a hill somewhere to the side with binoculars watching all this happen. Tire shaking. And then it's like, and it starts to roll forward. Okay, finally starts learning how to roll forward. Middle of the fucking desert, there's a beer bottle. And then stops the tire. And the tire's like, fuck, how do I move from here?
My life is over and it just began.
Mind you, the tire doesn't talk. This is what you're thinking in your head. Oh, the tire's figuring out how to...
It's all left up to interpretation.
It's all up to interpretation.
God.
So, like, this is it. Like, it's here, and the tire's like, tink, tink. Man, just smashes the bottle and just keeps going. And then it just starts killing people
So
from
one
there.
would say that's where it
Teleconnecting.
became homicidal.
Yeah.
That's
So
that
how's
bottle.
this tire kill?
I've never seen more than
Telepathically.
the first 10 minutes.
Oh, I didn't get to the point where
telepathically.
it kills people.
Where, like, people just, like, explode and shit. The tire starts to shake, and people go, pop. Right?
This sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah. So now I got one better for you. I watched this at Christmas. I found this, and they're like, you can watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. It might be Amazon. Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws.
What the fuck?
Dude, you'd fucking
I
love
hope it's a
it.
shark.
It's a shark.
Okay, all right.
So this kid, like him and this girl are like flirting, and this kid loves creating comic books. So he goes to a comic book shop, and he sees he's like, oh, I need a pen to like draw like my comic books or whatever, and the guy gives him like this special pen. And
Was it in Chinatown?
No.
Where all the men
Yeah, right. You think like, no, this. Oh, by the way, this is like middle of like Connecticut by the docks, like movie in the winter. Like you could tell somebody did this on a weekend.
Yeah.
So the kid goes back. He's like trying to draw this comic book. He's like, I need a really good character. He's like, I want like a killer shark, but it's Christmas, so it's got to be Christmas themed. So he draws this shark with Christmas lights all over it and like a Santa hat and like suit on. Next thing you know, it becomes a real thing, and you just see some guys like sitting there by his boat, and you just see Christmas lights in the water come up, and dude, it's like Sharknado, and then you just see the guy sitting there, and you just see this Christmas, like the eyes are different colors. It comes out like I think the teeth were like Christmas lights too.
There was no tinsel anywhere.
Yeah, and he's like, somehow this shark just somehow kills everybody in this kid's family. So it's the mom and dad, the uncle with like the hooker like girlfriend who's, mind you, it's middle of Christmas, but she wants to go out tan in the Connecticut water or whatever.
Sure.
In bikini.
Sure.
Kills them off of the boat, kills everybody. They somehow magically kill the shark, and I'm pretty sure they did it like Jaw style, where like it blew up something in his mouth.
The oxygen tank in the mouth.
They're all dead. But all of a sudden, he wakes up and it's Christmas Day and everybody's alive.
Oh, that's a cop out.
Yeah. That's a good old, nice wholesome ending.
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh well, you know what? That's a fantastic story and a great way to end the episode.
Fuck Santa Jaws, watch it.
We want to thank you, Alexis.
Oh, thank you guys,
coming and joining us here at the podcast. And
Shout
where
out
can
what you
people
do.
find you?
Yeah, guys, check out Jiu Jitsu Radio on Instagram, YouTube, and we have the podcasts available everywhere. And join us on the Twitch channel. If you look up Kara Jitsu, Kara Jitsu on Twitch, streaming 2-3 times a week. So we're always down to have people join us and stream and stuff like that. But appreciate it. No, I appreciate you guys having me, man. I had a fucking blast. I'm not gonna lie, like this is the most fun I've had in a long time.
Hey man, hey, you can come back
Us too,
anytime.
man.
That's what we do.
It was great.
Anytime you guys want, man, let me know.
Cue the music. All right, thank you for joining us here at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, and you can find us on
Sofa Kingdom OFC, all your relevant social media platforms.
It took him about fucking 6 months to learn that.
What's OFC stand for?
It's just a quick abbreviation for official.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, that's how we do it. We OFC.
Just putting your
Look
dick
us
right
up.
on the table. Huh? Just putting it all on the table.
I mean,
We have the rights to it.
that's how you got to do it sometimes, man. You just got to walk right in and just
gotta be aggressive.
slap it on the
You gotta
table.
be aggressive. Forthcoming.
Good shit. Thank you, guys. All right.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, that was good. That was what, like 3 something.
We'll break that into like 2 parts.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do it. What time is it? 4. Perfect.